right, let's go live there. All right, guys, good morning and welcome back to our weekly live webinar. Super excited. I feel like I haven't seen you guys in a couple days. Let this thing come on for a second. All right, there we go. So again, welcome back to our weekly live webinar. We've got Manhattan on today with Mr. Kent. So very excited about having him on and talk about their products. If you know Manhattan, if you are on CSG, if you're on the quoting engines out there, you're definitely seeing those guys at the top of the list. So we definitely want to dive into that product a little bit more. I think we talked to these guys a little bit a while back about their product, about Manhattan. So we definitely want to refresh because, like I said, again, it's one of the most competitive products out there. Very easy to write. So let's see here. Everyone's coming on. So I will get started. Of course, again, thank you guys. Thank you for your business, for your partnerships. And if you guys need anything, of course, we'll get with you guys afterwards. But let me know if you have any questions or anything concerning the webinar, and we will put them in the box, or they will be in the box, and I'll get them answered. So again, Mr. Kemp, I'll let you take it away. Thank you, sir.
Great, Brent. Thank you, and always value my time with Eldercare people. They're definitely a trusted partner, longtime partner, and enjoy the quality of their business. Anything I can do to empower you or make you successful, that's what I'm here for. Anything Manhattan. So,
thank you.
Today, we're going to talk about the Secure Advantage Final Expense Plan. And I might take a step back real quick for some of the people that might be new that aren't familiar with Manhattan and talk a little bit about them. Manhattan started in 1850. So we're 175 years old now, always privately held. The Manhattan logo is the Statue of Liberty because we started in Manhattan, New York. In 2000, they moved the offices down to Houston, Texas, where we employ about 800 people. And anyway, they did roughly over $1 billion in premium last year. So they're a good sized company that can back you up. And being privately held, they make decisions what's best for their client. And the client is the policyholder and the agent. Whereas some of our competitors, they're stock held companies, and stock held company makes decisions based on shareholder value, which doesn't always align with the client. So that's one of the things I'm proud to say, and they've done a good job of it. And we'll walk through the Secure Advantage, kind of how it works. We've recently made some changes in my PowerPoint. As we go through, I'll point out what those changes are. But with that, hold on, let's get started. I thought we're talking about the Secure Advantage, but we do have other products I'd like to point out. Just briefly, we've got our home health care policy, which is a great product. 2 knockout questions, reimburses on medication. It's easy to get issued. It's a great product. I call it the 3-legged stool. It's good for the client, it's good for the agent, it's good for the company. And then we've got our final expense, which we're covering today, which is it's the best deal for your client for sure. Final expense, if they can qualify for this plan, we're going to be the best deal for them. We also offer cancer, heart, and stroke. You can buy cancer by itself or heart by itself, or buy them both. My easiest way to segue into cancer, heart, and stroke is just ask them during the presentation, are you a cancer family or are you a heart family? And then be quiet. Eventually they'll come back around, they'll say, well, I guess we're a cancer family because daddy had it and his dad had it and my sister had it. And so that's why you need a good cancer supplement. Hopefully that's a nugget I could throw to you. We're putting our Medicare supplement back out there in select states. Our dental, vision, hearing select, that's probably one of the hottest products out there because it pays in network and out of network. So you're going to be covered either way. Covered orthodontics for adults. That sets us apart. And the premiums are competitive. It's a great product. And then we have 2 different accident plans out there that are any senior that you're talking to they have accidents happen every day, so that can lead itself right to there, protecting your client. So here we've got the final expense. We call it the Secure Advantage policy. Benefits will never go down once they buy the policy. Whatever face amount they bought, that's it. Premiums never go up. The premiums are locked in at whatever their issue age is. So that's nice for your family. Full face value. It's not a graded benefit. The day that policy goes effective, they have that full death benefit there. It builds cash value over time. So that's security for your client. And then I'll review the maximum benefit levels with you. Here they are. 0 to 49, I think that kind of sets us apart a little bit. A lot of the final expense policies only start at 50, 55. We'll do a 1-year-old, 17-year-old. So you can insure the whole family on the product. And then you can see the maximums for each age bracket. But you can write it up to age 85. You have an accidental death benefit available up to age 65. So that's a fairly inexpensive benefit that's nice to have on there. So the way they underwrite the policy is they break it into 2 buckets. You've got ages 0 to 49 is underwritten one way, and then ages 50 to 85 is underwritten a different way. And they're very explicit about who they take and who they don't take. So it's not a guessing game. If you pay attention to their agent guide, it really walks you through what you can and can't do. In Idaho, they use ages 0 to 85 all on one rate sheet. They don't break it up in Idaho. It's just the 0 to 85. So first, we're going to cover the 0 to 49 and just walk through here. Here's where one of the changes is. I haven't changed my slide yet, but I'll point it out. The Secure Advantage is for your healthier clients. So in other words, somebody that's of average health or better, that's who this product is targeted for. It's just saying there's a different application for people 50 to 85. Here's where the change is we used to have a telephone interview on this, and we do not have a telephone interview anymore. So this part of the slide, the presentation, is not accurate. I just haven't changed it yet. So that's a good thing. So in your height and weight table, ages 0 to 49, pretty liberal. I'm giving you a minute to look at that. It makes a lot of sense. Here's the fax cover page. If you're going to fax your application in, it gives you that number. People still do that. The e-application is definitely the way to go. 95% of our applications are coming by e-app. It's just a lot cleaner process. It can read your writing. It gets issued quicker. You get paid quicker. But anyway, we still will take paper applications. We don't charge extra for that. So, have they used tobacco? You know, pay attention. In the last 12 months, you know, they've been treated for anything. In the last 2 years, have they been treated for any of these conditions? You know, if it's been 12 months and 1 day, you could actually check no on that. So just that's why I'm trying to make the point. Pay attention what the look back they're asking for is. So looking at the next page of the paper application, pretty basic information they're just asking you for there. On a paper app, you have to have a wet signature. On the e-application, you write the mother's maiden name down, type that in the box, and that is their signature. So wet signature for the paper app and then mother's maiden name for the e-app. That just made the agent's job a whole lot easier because the client doesn't have to click on anything, respond to anything. That is their signature there. Here in the last 4 years, have they been treated for any of these conditions? Have you ever been treated in the last 24 months? Again, I'm just making the point, pay attention to what it's asking for there. And there you see under number 7, it says see agent guide for rating instructions. The agent guide tells you exactly what we'll do in each situation. The agent guide should be your best friend. The telephone interview code, disregard that because we've discontinued it. Bank draft authorization form, how are they going to pay for it? We do a prescription check on every policy. So make sure that you get all their medications so they match up. You know, if they don't match up and they have a bunch of medications that aren't listed, that's kind of a red flag there. This just getting authorization to do an MIB, signing that. So now we're going to take a look at the 50 to 85 application. And everything, all these slides that I'm using, they all come from the agent guide. So make that your friend. So again, we're just talking about for your healthier clients. We don't do the telephone interview anymore, so I'm skipping through that. Here, talking about underwriting, height and weight chart, you know, the maximums that they can get. That's the max they can apply up to. They got their minimum face amounts. The height and weight chart's pretty fair, very fair, I think. The preferred maximum weight, that gets them the preferred rate, long as they're at that or lower. And then the standard maximum rate is the standard rate. And as long as they're like, just take 5'9", 283, as long as it's 283 or below, they can qualify. If they're 284, they would not qualify. So your preferred rate is based on your height and weight. Here's on submitting applications. You could do it the old-fashioned snail mail way. You can fax it in, and people still fax. You can upload your applications to the Manhattan website. And the newest way that I don't have down here yet, but we in the Google store and the Apple store, you can download the ManhattanLife app, register to use that app, and you can use it to file claims that way. There's that fax cover page again. Fraud notice, got to have that signed. Allergies are getting me here in Oklahoma, so I apologize for the voice. Here's the application, your basic information. You can do a husband and wife on the same application. And then on the application, it tells you right here, section D, if you answer yes to any of these questions, they cannot issue the policy. So you pretty much know up front, you know, if you answer yes to any of those, they are not going to take the application. There's the medications we talked about. Be diligent and get all the medications for the applicants because you want it to match up for sure. Then you're telling them what face amount you want, if they want the accidental death, wet signature. And again, the telephone interview code has gone away. That makes life a whole lot easier. they're asking them to get the MIB, get their medical information if they need to. They sign, disclose that. And then here we have the rate guide. Again, that's another reason for the e-application. The e-application figures the rates for you. So you know the rates are correct. You're in the right state, you got the right rates. It's a lot cleaner. I've got some examples of premiums and face amounts. 65-year-old female, $10,000 face, $37.25. There's a 45-year-old male, 80-year-old female, really good rate. And then you've got a 35-year-old male. So that's kind of putting it in a nutshell, just trying to point out what you need to know. You remember me talking about you can even do younger people? That's all the states that it's available in. And with that, Brent, that covers the final expense. It's pretty simple policy. I think looking at this map, you need to be aware of what states it's offered in. It's offered in 20 states. And so it's not everywhere, but if it's in the state you're in, you're going to be happy with it.
And what I'm seeing here is it's in a lot of those major states that a lot of agents play in, or a lot of agents do business in. So a lot of times when we're talking about, again, not everything is going to fit everyone. But the nice thing about it is you're going to see that there's a lot of states, again, that I think a lot of agents I speak to, that's a major part of where they do a lot of their business, even if they're in the other states that it's not offered in, right? So that's a really good part of it. So thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're looking to expand this in 26, the states that we have it available in. But as of today, and probably for the rest of this year, these are the states that you can write it in.
Awesome. Well, man, I definitely appreciate that. Let's see if there's any questions in here. One of the big things that we try to do, that I think I've also been requested from a lot of you guys, right, is exactly what Mr. Kemp just did, right? Went through the entire application. Any questions that you do have, right, about that application, definitely should be asking those right now. It is a product that, again, like I said, it's going to fit some people, and some people it may not fit. And that's the really good portion about it, is exactly the group that you can utilize this with, and it's very competitive. I love that. But I don't see any questions, man. That means you did a fantastic job.
Well, I hope that's what that means.
Yes, sir. That's exactly what it means. That's my conclusion, though. I hadn't gotten any feedback on anything else, so I'm taking that as always the conclusion. No questions, meaning that everything was really good, in depth, and answered the questions that they had, that they didn't ask, so they didn't have to. But absolutely, man. Thank you. I'm going to wrap it up for us. Again, so I didn't see any questions. Of course, we'll definitely reach out to you guys. If you're not with Manhattan Life, this is a perfect time for us to have that conversation. And again, you've kind of seen everything that the app presents itself, and what we're looking, or what they're looking for to get somebody through. Like I said, again, it's really, really easy. There's no phone interview anymore. So that's always really good. I definitely see the blur, by the way. I like it.
Now you know what I was talking about.
We were talking about his aura around him. It's bringing good news today. That's why it's around him. But yes, I appreciate it, Kim. And like I said, man, if there's anything you want to add, go ahead. If not, thank you for hosting the webinar, and we sure appreciate it.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. You have a good day.